Hi ladies, hi gents, I hope you're all well. I want to share a project with you today, and I am sorry that it's a little bit dark, but it's evening and it's the only chance I'm going to get to film this, to be honest, so there might be a few shadows. I do apologise. Okay, so I've been working on this for a couple of weeks, you know, doing a little bit in the evening here and there and over weekends. So what this is like a fabric and paper album, and it's made based on pages of fabric. So this is what I started with for some of the pages, which is oh gosh, oh, I've forgot the name of it. A linen fabric, a cotton linen fabric. So this is what I started with for some of the base pages. I will explain the others as we go through, but this is what I started with. Okay. I am going to, my plan is to do a tutorial on how to do one of the pages with the linen, and then as I go through I will probably, there's some paper bags in here, I might do a tutorial on one of the paper bag pages and maybe a tutorial on some of the tags, a couple of tags. I couldn't possibly do a tutorial on the whole book. The base of the pages are all done the same, so if I do a tutorial on one page, you can expand that into the other pages. Okay, so the front is covered with some vintage doilies, some lace, and then some fabrics. I used a lot of fabric on these pages. There's corrugated card here. There's some chipboard frames, some cheesecloth, some wide burlap. There's some vintage laces down here. There's seam binding, these pearl droplets. This was an earring here. These paper flowers are the ones I made, oh, these two are the ones I made a couple of weeks ago, it might be a month ago. I made some paper flowers. This is one of the little flowers that I got off AliExpress, one of the little that I showed in a haul. This is a butterfly applique, double layered one with some diamante and pearl bling. Like I said, there's a chipboard frame in there, and then there's some tiny flower trim on this page, and there's a bit of doily as well. So that's the front cover. That's how it looks, and this is very much about using fabrics and paper together, and also using up scraps, little bits of laces, and just adding lots of different textures in different places. So that's the front cover. I'm just going to turn it over and show you the back cover. So again, this was a fabric page. I just covered it in this beautiful floral fabric, and then added some lace and applique and some tiny rosebud trim here, and a little vintage lace down there. So that's the back. I just wanted there to be a pretty applique on the back page. Now these are all held together because they're eyelets. I put eyelets throughout. These are all held together by seam binding, and there's 3 different colours. There's a pink, a mint, and a sort of tea-dyed tan colour. Now on the top ones I have added these beautiful glass beads with the little roses on. Really super cute. I did think about adding them to them all, but I thought it might be too much. and I thought, you know, just having those ones at the top dangle down would be nice. So that's the front and back. Okay, so inside on this page we've got this flap here, and what that is the same fabric on the inside, and it was a longer piece that created this flap. I just take these out. I covered this with paper, it's beautiful paper, rose print. I used corrugated card for the tuck spot, added a little chipboard piece, and then made a little doily flower and had some fibres behind it to create the tuck spot. There's lace and some rose trim, and there's a couple of tags in there which I just added little bits of fabric and lace to embellish them, and they are, you know, you can journal on them or anything like that. Across the edge there is some more lace, so if I just fold that out. So in here I created a tuck spot with a piece of vintage lace just down here. Again, I've added some more lace just to embellish it, and there is a couple of tiny little rose embellishments. A couple of cards. I will tell you where the cards are from in a minute. And again, little tabs on them, some corrugated card and little bits of lace. So they go in there. This pocket is made with 2 doilies. This one's one pocket, and then there's another pocket, and then there's just a little doily flower on there. Got the corrugated card, a little bit of lace and some bling there. So the cards for here all have a little something on, lace, fabric, trim, and this one's got like a tab with lace and a corrugated card. This is really was so fun to do. It's just about little snippets for the tags all the way through this, just to, you know, it's just like a bits and pieces book. I had so much fun doing this, I really did. Okay, so this page is made using a paper bag, and I trimmed it to the size I wanted. I covered it in paper. So we've got a tuck spot here, and again, you know, I've added laces and little trims, a couple of cards, and throughout you will see they're all embellished in little snippets and pieces like that. So there's frames on the back so that they can have photos added. This is the paper bag. There's a bigger tag in here, and these are all the snippets up here: paper, card, a tab. The other one's on the other side. So on this side I've got another card. I had so much fun doing all the little snippets on the cards. I really did. I know the lighting's not great. Again, I covered this side with a paper. I've used a small doily, some corrugated card. There's a little metal clock face, a little bow, and some cheesecloth and some fibres, and a couple of tags there. Tuck in there behind that. Excuse me. Again, this is a paper bag. It it was a floral paper bag, so I didn't need to cover this one in paper. I just added, that's the pattern that was on it. I did add some paper to create the tuck spots and some lace. And again, there's the tags with all these yummy little snippets at the top. And in the top of the paper bag, there's another card. This is a great way to use up all your snippets. It really is. And you know what? It was so much fun because I could do the top of a couple of, 5 or 6 of the cards in the evening after work, and I felt like I got to have some crafty time in the evening, which for me is rare. Okay, this is the back of the paper bag. Again, there's another tag up here. This side of the paper bag, I did add some paper to, and a few little embellishments and some lace and trim, and another card, and that's the pocket. And I tried to make them all, different sizes in between, so that there was lots to see as you turn the pages. This is another fabric page. Again, I covered it in a fabric and made the pocket out of the same fabric. Added lace. I added this applique and some little leaves and this flower and a tiny ribbon flower. There's some corrugated card there. Up in this corner I've got paper, cheesecloth, lace, another handmade paper flower and some lace behind it. So it is really, a bits and bobs. These are the 2 tags. I think you can tell I had fun doing this. This page I covered in paper. And added some laces. Up here I've got again some paper, some cheesecloth, corrugated cards, some snippets of lace, a little butterfly. This, I wanted to leave this so it showed. I've got a little blue applique here, again all floral, and again another couple of tags with little embellishments on, and again they're frames as well, so they just tuck in there. This page was a paper bag again. I cut it smaller to get a different size. I didn't add any paper to this, I just added the corrugated card and then fibres and a leaf and cheesecloth, and then the flower with the loopy flower in the centre. And again there's a card in here. On this side, and if I turn it over, this is the tuck spot. I did add paper to this side just to give it a bit of something different, and I added a few, applique and some rose trim, and this is the card. So lots and lots of journaling places, photograph places. Excuse me. Again, this is another fabric page. Again, I covered it with a rose print fabric. I used part of a doily to create this big pocket, and I put a butterfly in the centre and some bling trim up at the top, some paper, chipboard piece, and a paper flower with a loopy flower in the centre. And then there is 3 different tags in this one, and I tried to vary all the little embellishments and stuff on as many of the cards as I could, and they're all double-sided, and they just slot in there. And on this side I covered in paper. Let me take these out. Covered it in paper, added an applique. I created the pocket out of paper and then added card, flowers, embellishments on there. Got a couple of tags again, there's little just bits and pieces. I really had fun doing this. This is a little envelope, and I just put a little embroidery piece on the centre for that page. Excuse me. This is another fabric page, and I made it thinner, but I did use paper for the pocket, and again I've added a little flower with the dangle beads, some corrugated cards, some more paper, some lace and a little embellishment, a couple of cards. On this side is part fabric, part paper, lace, corrugated card, a butterfly. This pocket's made out of a small doily, and then a flower in the centre, and cheesecloth and fibres, and just a little card tucked in there. And I just love as you look back, you see lots from each page sticking out and peeping out here, there and everywhere. This is another paper bag one. I did cover it in paper, card and lace on the side and little appliques and trims. Another little card tucks in there, and in the top this one. So some of the cards I added a bit more embellishment, some I added less, depending what page it was going on, as to whether I thought it needed a bit more on show. And the back of this one. Now this one, I love this paper, so I really didn't want to add a pocket. I wanted to keep all the wording and the nest, and I just added a butterfly and the lace trim. You know, I just thought that was quite pretty the way it was, so I didn't want to add much to that. And then the last inside cover, I used a similar part of, well actually it was a 12 by 12 paper, and I used another part of it. Let me take the tags out. It is a fabric page again, and then the pocket is made out of paper, and there is lace and cheesecloth and little appliques, corrugated card, trim, and then these 2 tags, which I think I had more fun making the embellishments on the tags, because I could do a little bit each night. I loved making the whole thing, but the tags were fun too. So, and then the back cover. So it really was fun, and it just, I love all the different bits and pieces sticking out, and yeah, it was fun, and it you know, it was nice to use fabric and papers together, and laces, and you know, just stick things, bits and pieces here, there and everywhere. So, oh, I was going to tell you, some of the paper line. Some of the 12 by 12 sheets were just one random pieces that I had, but a lot of the paper was this Yesterday by Lemoncraft. I've taken a lot of them out, but they're, you know, they're really shabby, really pretty. So a lot of them were this Lemoncraft Yesterday. I also had tags from this, but I don't have any left, so I used all the tags that came with this. But I also used some of the note cards from Prima Misty Rose, and they're in the 4x6, and I had some of the smaller ones from the same paper line, which are 3x4. So that's the majority of the paper line, and the tags were those. I do hope you like this, and give it a go. It's really great fun mixing up all the elements, and just randomly, you know, creating fabrics and papers together, and just pulling it together. Like I say, I am gonna probably do a tutorial on one page of the fabric, and maybe one of the paper bag pages, and maybe a couple of journaling cards, just to show you how I put them together. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping I can do that, but you know me, I'm a very slow crafter, and any tutorial videos can be very long, and so please don't feel you have to watch them. And also just bear in mind, I struggle to get time to do tutorials, because my craft space is in my front room. So one end of it is like, you know, where the TV, the sofa and all that is, or down the other end. So I can't record tutorials, because obviously the family come in here and watch TV, and I can be sat here crafting, but I can't be videoing while they're there. Anyway, I will do my best to do the tutorials on a couple of pages to show you how I done this. Do let me know what you think, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.